Hello everybody, welcome back to the layout. Before I show you what progress I've made in this video, I want to say a few words about a comment that was made on an earlier video of mine. To be precise, it was a comment made on video number 4, and the comment was about sidings in the layout, and it said that perhaps adding a few sidings might increase the play value of the layout. And I fully agree with that comment. So Gerhard, if you are watching this video, thanks for the comment. That was much appreciated. So let me show you what I'm planning to do regarding sidings or side tracks. So as you can see here, I have added a point. I did so quite a long time ago. And now I'm starting to model the harbor scene. It's about time to start using this and add the siding from this point. So I've laid down a couple of pieces of track that illustrate where the siding will go. And another point is put here that will give me the possibility of having a siding into this area here. So regarding this siding, there will be plenty of room for an industry here and also an industry here. Then furthermore, I've drawn in a couple of things here. So there's a road coming from the bridge here that will cross the siding and then into the area over there. And then obviously I will most likely also have a road going into the harbor area. So I will have a couple of structures here and an access road to the harbor. Another possibility for an additional siding is what I've illustrated here. So I could add another point here and have a siding that goes along like this. So the plan still is here to have a tunnel entrance here. So as I've explained also in one of the previous videos, this area here will be raised, and so here will be a tunnel, and I will have then the possibility to have scenery on top of that. So the tunnel will end somewhere here. So that's what I'm planning in terms of sidings. If you have any comments, any thoughts on this, I'd be happy to hear that. So please leave if you have suggestions, please leave a comment below the video. So now onto the modeling of the harbor scene. One of the things I will be building is a dock here in this area, which will go along this entire length here. So in total it will be a length of 44 centimeters and it will go all the way until the rock in the end. For the structure of the dock, I've cut out these pieces of wood. They are 6 centimeters in length and 1 centimeter in width, but I will cut them in half along the length so that I will end up with pieces that are half a centimeter in width, and those will look like this. And so these will then be the cross beams that will carry the weight of the structure. Alright, so these are all the cross beams done. And I've also cut out the longitudinal beams for the structure of the dock. And then the structure will be glued together in this way. Now to get this done properly and all orthogonally, I have made a small jig, which I will show you in a second. So here's my jig that I made. So it's essentially two pieces of wood that are 6 centimeters apart. So the space in between is 6 centimeters, which is obviously equal to the length of the cross beams. And then I have this small piece of wood that squeezes the longitudinal beams, which are here and there on the sides of the jig. So that holds it in place at the right distance, and then that allows me to glue my cross beams properly in place. Alright, so I've glued together the framework for the deck. This is the underside that we're looking at, and so the legs of the deck will be glued in between these pairs of cross beams. So if I turn it around, so then the top deck will be glued on top of this, and for that I will be using balsa wood, which I have here, and I'm gonna cut that into strips like these, and then so those will be glued on top like this. Alright, so the deck is glued in place, as you can see. And so now the next step is to add the pillars on which it will rest. So I'll do that next. So next I'm going to make the pilings for the deck. I will be making those from these wooden rods. They are 1/2 centimeter in diameter, and I'm cutting them in pieces of 6 centimeters in length. These pieces are really smooth, as you can see, and I'm using a saw to make grooves into them so that it looks more realistic. And then I'm making pilings that look like these, and I'm gonna need 9 of these all together. For making the pilings I'm using this small jig here. It's nothing fancy, but it's just to keep the right distance and to have everything orthogonal. So that's just a little help. So these are all the pilings glued together. Prior to attaching these to the deck, I will paint the deck. That means I will give it a stain. And the reason for first staining the deck and then afterwards attaching the pilings is that I expect there may be some warping due to the staining. And if I haven't glued the pilings on the deck yet, I will be able to put some weights on the deck so that I can avoid the warping. Okay, so there we have it. Everything glued together. So all the pilings are glued in place now. And you can also see how the staining turned out. Actually quite happy with the color as it turned out. So this is where the deck will be placed. And just let me remove it. So you can see that I actually had to cut away a bit of the rock here, of the foam that was modeling the rock. So I will have to patch that up, but that's just a minor thing to do. And here we have the end result. As you can see, I have added pilings on the front, So those are pilings with a slightly bigger diameter, and those would be the pilings that boats would dock on